They say Earth is dead. No trees, no clean air, no rain. Just dust, broken cities, and silence. But for Lara, a mother of two, Earth still has one thing left. Hope. She walked through the dry wastelands with her two children, Keel, age 9, and Mina, age 5, holding their small hands. Their feet were bleeding. Their stomachs were empty. But she kept walking. Her lips were cracked. Her eyes were tired. But she didn't stop. She couldn't, not until she reached the farm, but this was not a normal farm. It was an alien farm run by the species that had taken Earth, the Goroth. Giant creatures with silver skin and glowing red eyes. The humans who worked here were not called workers. They were called property. The sun was falling. Lyra saw the farm gates ahead. Fences made of metal, guarded by tall Goroth soldiers. She held her children close and stepped forward. A guard pointed a weapon at her. "Stop! Who are you?" "I'm Lyra," she said. "My children are hungry. I'll work your fields. I'll warm your bed. Just feed my kids." The guard looked at her like she was nothing. Then he laughed. "Wait here." He left. Lyra knelt beside her kids. "It's okay. Don't cry. Mama's here." She gave them her last piece of dry bread. They ate slowly, eyes wide with fear. The gate opened. A taller Goroth stepped out, Commander Vrex. He wore black armor and a long red cloak. His face showed no emotion. "You beg well," he said. "Most humans cry or scream. You offer yourself. That is interesting." "I don't care what happens to me," Lyra said. "Just feed them." Vrex walked around her. He smelled power, but something more, intelligence. "This woman wasn't just a mother. You may enter," he said. "Your children will be fed. You will work, fail, and all three of you will starve." Lyra nodded. "Thank you." As they walked through the gate, her children were taken one way and she the other. Lyra's heart ached, but she didn't fight. Not yet. A human man whispered to her as she passed by. His face was thin, his eyes hollow. "You shouldn't have. Come, no one leaves this place." Lyra said nothing. The farm was massive. Machines worked beside humans. Fields of strange alien crops grew in the dry land. Everything was controlled, watched, feared. Her job was to carry heavy water barrels from the well to the fields. All day. No rest. That night, as she lay in the cold sleeping quarters, her hands bleeding and back aching, she looked at the sky. The stars were still there. Somewhere above, maybe someone still fought for Earth, or maybe it was just her. She turned to sleep, but heard a scream. A loud, horrible scream from the fields. She ran to the edge of the wall and peeked through a hole. What she saw made her freeze. A man, human, was half buried in the dirt, his skin burned, his body shaking. A Goroth machine sprayed chemicals on him. His body was being used to feed the crops. Like fertilizer. Lyra covered her mouth. Her heart was racing. What kind of monsters were these? She turned back and saw Vrex standing behind her. "You look disturbed," he said calmly. "You use humans like trash." "We use what we have," Vrex said. "Waste is weakness." Lyra stared at him, her voice low. "You're monsters." Vrex tilted his head. "And yet, you offered to warm my bed. For food, for survival. Does that not make you a monster too?" Lyra said nothing. She returned to her room, shaking. Her children were still alive. She had to be strong. The next day, while digging near the edge of the fields, her shovel hit something hard. She cleared the dirt. It was a small metal box. She looked around. No one saw her. She pulled it out and opened it under a broken cart. Inside was a human drone. Old, burnt, but its red eye blinked weakly. Power. It whispered. Lyra single quotes us. Eyes widened. A military model. From the old human resistance. Can you hear me? She whispered. Identify yourself. Lyra, she whispered. Pause. Double quotes. Commander Lyra. Identity match. Confirmed? Orders? She stared at the machine. I have no army. No weapons. Just my children. The drone answered. We still have a plan. You are the last piece. Lyra looked up at the sky again. Her hands were still bleeding. But this time, her fingers curled into fists. She wasn't just a mother. She was the spark. Lyra stood tall in front of Commander Vrex. I was a soldier, she said. An engineer. You're not the first alien I've seen, but you will be the last. The Goraths. Red eyes blinked slowly. Ah, so the mask comes off. No more games, she said. You promised food for my children. What do you want in return? Vrex walked slowly around her. His boots crunched the dry soil. Work my fields. Lift? Dig, carry. Do not stop. No rest. You obey every command. I accept, Lyra said without hesitation. But, he added, your children stay in the barracks. You will not see them until I decide. Lyra clenched her fists. Her heart hurt, but she nodded. I'll do it. Just don't touch them. Vrex smirked. You humans ... so weak, yet so dangerous when pushed. The sun burned above. The next morning, Lyra was already working. Her hands were wrapped in torn cloth, her back bent with weight. She carried barrels, loaded alien tools, and dug trenches. She didn't slow down. Not once. Other humans watched her. Some were surprised, some were afraid, most were broken. Their eyes were empty, but Lyra's eyes were sharp, awake, alive. A thin man named Tarn, another human slave, walked beside her during water duty. You work like a machine, he whispered. You'll burn out, they'll break you. They won't, she replied. You think we'll ever escape? He asked, smiling bitterly. Not think, she said. I know. That night, under the cover of darkness, Lyra returned to the broken cart where she had hidden the drone. Its red eye blinked again. Repairs, 48% complete. She connected broken wires using old metal scrap and strips of her own shirt. The drone beeped softly. You are brave, Commander, it said. I'm not brave, she whispered. I'm desperate. You carry the last signal beacon, the drone told her. Hidden in your spine. You're the emergency link. The last connection, she froze. You mean the resistance? Yes, they can hear us, if you choose to call them. Lyra looked back toward the barracks. Her kids were sleeping, hopefully. Won't call anyone until I know they're safe. In the morning, things got worse. One of the humans tried to escape. He ran across the field, screaming for help. A Gorath gunship flew low and fired once. The man exploded into dust. Lyra didn't flinch. But deep down, her fear grew. Rex walked up behind her that evening. You've lasted longer than I expected, he said. I told you. I'm not weak. He looked at her with curiosity. I have another offer. She turned to him, calm but alert. You become something more, Rex said. Not just a worker, a tool, a weapon. I will give your children food, safety, education. But you will become mine, body and mind. Lyra narrowed her eyes. And if I say no? Then your children will rot in the dark. There was no threat in his voice. Just cold, flat truth. Later that night, Lyra sat under the stars again. The drone buzzed. Signal ready. Do you want to send it? She didn't answer right away. Her hands were shaking. Suddenly, Mina, her daughter, appeared crying. Mama. Keel is gone. Lyra jumped up. Where is he? I don't know. The guards took him. He tried to stop them from hurting me. Lyra grabbed her shovel and ran. She searched the barracks, the work fields, the labs. She saw a Gorath guard dragging something into the white lab building. She didn't wait. She rushed in. Inside, she saw Keel, her son, tied to a chair. Vrek stood beside him, holding a needle. Lyra froze. He's strong, Vrek said. Brave, like you. Don't touch him. She shouted. I wasn't going to hurt him, he said calmly. I just wanted to see what kind of mother offers herself to save her children, and if she's still willing, even now. Lyra walked forward, shaking with rage. You know my answer, he smiled. Good, then we have a deal. That night, back in the drone's hiding spot, Lyra spoke into the blinking red eye. Send the signal. The drone word. Message sent. Earth's last flame has spoken. Above the clouds, far beyond what the Gorath could see, a silent message traveled through space. Resistance alive. Commander found. Begin return. Lyra looked up at the stars again. They wanted a slave, she whispered. They got a soldier. Commander, your army is not dead, it is sleeping. The drone's voice was low, but every word hit Lyra like thunder. She sat beside the metal box in the shadows of the storage yard. Its red eye glowed weakly. She whispered back, What do? You mean? You carry the last access code. With it, you can wake the others. Others? Lyra asked, her eyes narrowing. Buried, hidden, forgotten, but alive. Lyra looked around the dusty yard. The alien farm was silent tonight. Gorath guards were few. Machines slept in the fields. She leaned close to the drone. Where are they? Everywhere. It replied, beneath your feet. The next morning, Lyra returned to work. The heat was heavy. Her arms ached. But now, her eyes were searching. The other humans still worked like shadows, slow, hopeless. But Lyra's mind was racing. She carried water barrels past a broken field unit and saw strange metal lines under the dirt. Thin, faint, like old cables, not alien cables. Human. She dropped her bucket on purpose and knelt down to touch them. Shock ran through her fingers. She smiled. That night, she returned to the yard with the drone and whispered, I found one. The drone beeped. System link. Detected. Begin connection. Lyra watched as a pulse of red light ran along the wire. Far away, deep underground, something blinked out. The next day, a change came. Tarn, the thin human worker, watched her. He saw the way she walked now, careful, fast, focused. What are you doing? He asked. Digging, she said simply. You'll get killed. Lyra looked him in the eye. Not if I move fast. Tarn stared at her. Then he said something soft. You were more than a mother before, weren't you? Lyra didn't. Reply. By night 3, she had found 2 more old machines under the farm, small human drones like the first one. Broken, but not dead. She used parts from farm tools to repair them. Each one carried data, memories of the war, and orders. Old, but still waiting. Defend Earth, one said. She felt something in her chest she hadn't felt in years. Fire. Then came a problem. Her daughter, Mina, became sick. Fever, weakness, no medicine. Lyra begged a guard to let her see a doctor. The guard hit her. She fell, bleeding, but said nothing. Vrex heard of it. He came that evening, silent as always. You disobeyed, he said. I'm a mother, she replied. You are my tool. Your child is just a mouth to feed. Lyra stood up, blood running down her face. If she dies, she said, you lose your tool.
Vrex stared at her, cold, then turned and walked away. That night,
Mina got a half dose of alien medicine. It wasn't kindness, it was calculation. Later, the drone beside her said, he watches you. Be careful. I'm done hiding, Lyra. Sighed. You will need help, the drone said. Others must wake. I know, she whispered. But how? The next day, Lyra approached Tarn again. You said you wanted to escape. He nodded slowly. Yes, but there's no way. There is now, she said. But I need hands, eyes, and trust. He looked unsure. You're serious? She looked him in the eyes. I'm building something. A spark. Help me light it. Tarn gave a small, nervous smile. Crazy woman. You might get us all killed, or all of us free. By week's end, Lyra had 5 drones active, each one hidden. Each one remembering who she was. Commander Lyra Cameron, Human Resistance. Last survivor. Of Unit 12. They spoke to her at night. Gave her maps. Power lines. Access points. She began drawing blueprints in the dirt under her bed. She now knew the farm's weak. Spots. Water pipes. Power hubs. Security gaps. Then came the news. A human worker was caught stealing food. Rex made an example. He gathered the humans. In the center of the farm, the worker was thrown to the ground. Steal again, Rex said, and this will happen to all of you. Agorith pulled out a plasma whip. Lyra stepped forward. Everyone gasped. Rex raised an eyebrow. Yes, I stole the food, she said. Silence. The real thief looked at her with wide eyes. Rex smiled. You surprised me again. You want a strong worker? Kill me and you lose one, Rex thought. Then turned away. Next time, no mercy. She lived, barely. But now, the others looked at her differently. Some with fear, some with respect. That night, the drone spoke. Commander, humans are watching, ready to follow. She looked at the sky. The stars seemed closer. Then let's give them something to follow. Lyra was no longer just a worker. She was a leader now. And Rex knew it. He watched her from the control tower, arms behind his back. Her body was tired, scarred, bruised. But her steps were stronger. Her voice was louder. The other humans followed. Her with their eyes, quietly, carefully. And worse, they had stopped giving up. Rex turned to his assistant, a smaller Gorath soldier. She's building something. Shall we remove her, Commander? The assistant asked. No, Rex said, smiling coldly. Let her think she's winning. Let her gather her ants. And then, we burn the hill. In the fields, Lyra moved. Fast. The drone army was growing. 10 units were now active. Each hidden beneath sheds, inside old machines, or under feeding tanks. Some were broken weapons. Others, small scout bots. But all of them recognized her as Commander. Tarn was helping. So were others. Quiet hands. Sharp eyes. They were no longer just surviving. They were planning. That night, Lyra returned to the hidden chamber, an old storm tunnel beneath the sleeping quarters. The drone greeted her. Status update. Human morale increasing. Resistance forming. Lyra sat on a rock, hands dirty, face covered in ash. Not fast enough. They're scared. They follow strength, the drone said. You must give them a reason to believe. The next day, she found it. A young boy, maybe 14, was caught hiding stolen bread. 2 guards dragged him across the field. People looked away. No one moved until Lyra stepped forward again. Leave him, she said. 1 guard laughed. You don't give orders. I do now. The other guard raised his rifle. Before he could aim, a rusted farming machine nearby shook and exploded. Dust flew everywhere. The guards fell back, blind. The boy ran. Lyra stood still, staring at the smoke. The machine had been rigged. By her drones. And now, everyone knew. That night, people gathered around her in the dark. Soft whispers. Nervous eyes. You did that? Someone asked. Lyra nodded. Yes, and I'm just getting started. Won't they kill us? Not if we strike first. Elsewhere, Vrex sat in his lab, watching the fire footage. She's making her move, he said. Beside him, a metal tube opened. Inside it, Lyra's son, Keel. Drugged, hooked to wires. Begin phase 1, Vrex ordered. Break the body. Then the soul. Lyra didn't sleep that night. The drone returned with a signal. Emergency. One of your children has been taken. She didn't ask who. Her heart already knew. She ran through the compound. Fast and silent. She found the door, the lab, and inside Keel. Lying still, surrounded by machines. No. Vrex stepped out from the shadows. Calm. Always calm. He's not hurt, yet. But he's useful. And so are you. What do you want? Lyra growled. He walked slowly toward her. You are a fire, Lyra. You burn everything you touch. Your courage, your leadership. It spreads. That makes you dangerous, but also valuable. He leaned in. Work for me. Lead my human workers. Keep them calm. Pretend to care. In return, your children live, eat, sleep safely. Lyra's voice shook. And if I say no, Vrex stepped back, then I will turn your son into something useful, like fertilizer, or test subject, or meat. Lyra stared at her son's pale face. She closed her eyes and made her decision. That night, back in the tunnel, the drones asked her, Commander, what is the order? She opened her eyes. Prepare all units. Start full activation. But your child, I will save. Him, she said. But not by kneeling. She stood up. If they want fire, I'll give them a wildfire. The next morning, Lyra walked out into the work fields. Dirt under her boots. Wind in her hair. Around her, humans stood waiting. She spoke clearly, simply. Loud enough for all to hear. They took my child. I'm not afraid, and neither should you be. They call us weak, slaves, but we are more. We are human, and it's time. We reminded them. The crowd was silent. Then someone stepped forward, then another, then 10, 50, 100. Vrex watched from the tower. He smiled. It begins, he whispered. But what he didn't know, Lyra had already activated. Phase 1, and something old and dangerous beneath the soil had awakened. The ground moved, not from machines, not from storms, but from something buried, something ancient, human, and angry. Below the alien fields, metal hands began to rise from the dirt. Lyra's army had awakened. She stood at the edge of the workers' zone, eyes locked on the towers above. The Gorath had no idea. Behind her, over 200 human workers stood still, waiting. Tarn leaned toward her. Are we really doing this? We already started, Lyra said. She raised her hand. The nearest drone, hidden inside a broken transport unit, activated its weapon system. Its red eye blinked once. Then, it fired. A blast of energy hit the first guard tower. It exploded, sending flames into the sky. The revolution had begun. All over the farm, drones rose from the ground, damaged, rusty, but deadly. Each one had been repaired piece by piece. In secret, now they were fully armed. Humans grabbed tools. Pipes, rocks, anything that could be used to fight. The farm became a battlefield. In the control tower, alarms blared. Commander Vrex watched the chaos with a calm face. So she chose war, he said softly. She's just one woman. His assistant shouted. No, Vrex replied. She's something worse. She's hope. He turned to his screen. Keel, wake him. Deep inside the lab, Lyra's son Keel opened his eyes. He was strapped to a table. Wires in his arms. Cold metal on his chest. He couldn't speak. But he could feel. Pain. Fear. And something else. a memory of his mother's voice. They will not break you. You are mine. You are human. Lyra fought in the fields. A Gorath guard charged her. She ducked, rolled, and smashed a wrench into his leg. Another drone flew overhead, dropping smoke bombs to blind the enemy. Humans cheered. One by one. The workers began to believe, not just in her, but in themselves. Tarn and a small team stormed the food storage area, cutting off supplies to the guards. Others freed captured humans from locked cages. The drones protected them, working like soldiers from a war long forgotten. Then came the beasts. From the north side of the farm, Gorath war beasts were unleashed. Massive creatures, half flesh, half machine. Bred to kill. One leaped into the field, crushing a human underfoot. Screams. Lyra saw it and ran toward it. Drone Unit 5, she shouted. Distract it! The drone launched a flare. The beast turned. Lyra leapt onto its back with a spear made. From a broken antenna. It bucked and roared. She stabbed it in the neck once. Twice, 3 times. It fell with a crash. She stood on its body, panting, covered in dust. Humans stared at her. And cheered. Back in the lab, Rex walked up to Keel. You're stronger than I thought, he said. Like her. Keel didn't answer. Rex leaned in. She's going to die today, and you will watch it happen. He pressed a button. A large screen showed the burning fields. Explosions, smoke. Lyra, fighting like a ghost of the old world. Keel clenched his fists. Lyra regrouped with the humans. We hold the farm, Tarn said. But for how long? Long enough, she said. The message is already out. Reinforcements will come. What if they don't? Someone asked. Lyra looked around at the people. Faces bruised, tired, but burning with something new. Then, we die standing, she said, not crawling. Rex prepared his final move. He opened a vault. Inside, a dark shape floated. A prototype weapon. Half human, half alien. The hybrid, he said. He looked into its eyes. Kill her. The skies above the farm rumbled. Not thunder, but ships. Something was coming. Something human. But would they arrive in time? Lyra stood under the broken sun, blood on her face, wind in her hair. Behind her, her people. In front of her, war. She took a deep breath. This is our land, she said. We may have lost Earth, but we didn't lose our spirit. She raised her fist. And all of them shouted, Humanity. F***, yeah? **. Smoke covered the farm like a blanket of death. Bodies lay in the dirt. Human and alien. Drones sparked and hissed. As they shut down, one by one. Their energy was running out. Lyra stood in the middle of it all, burned, bleeding, breathing, but she was still standing. That made her dangerous. The price of rebellion was written in blood. Tarn was gone. Killed by a war beast while saving 2 children. Half the resistance fighters were wounded. 5 of the drones had been destroyed, but they had done it. They had taken the farm. And now, Lyra's mind was on only one thing, her son, Keel. She stormed the lab building like a hurricane. The front doors were blown off with a stolen energy grenade. Sparks flew everywhere. Inside, she moved through empty white halls until she found the elevator. Her hand slammed the button. Down into the dark. Rex was waiting. Not with guards, not with weapons. But with a smile. You survived, he said as she entered. Barely, she replied. And yet you came, alone, like a mother, not a commander. I'm both, she said. And I want my son. Rex stepped aside. There he was. Keel, awake, sitting in a glass cage. Weak but alive. Mama! He called out. She rushed forward, but a wall of energy blocked her. Don't bother, Rex said. That field could stop a starship. She turned to him. What do you want? You already gave it to me. he said. From the shadows, a shape moved. Heavy, slow, metal and flesh. The hybrid. It stepped into the light. 8 feet tall. Silver body, human brain, eyes that looked almost familiar. Lyra's heart dropped. No. The hybrid's voice was robotic, but inside it, a whisper of a human scream still echoed. You used one of us, Lyra said. I used many, Vrex replied, but this one was special. The hybrid raised its weapon arm. Order. Terminate Commander Lyra Corrin. Lyra rolled away just as plasma fire burned the floor where she stood. She fired back with her stolen rifle. Useless. The shots bounced off its armor. This was not a guard. Not a beast. This was a message, a warning. You can fight, but you will never win. The battle was brutal. Lyra ducked and weaved, using broken lab walls as cover. The hybrid tore through machines and furniture like paper. She ran, ducked, slid. Found a trapdoor. Dropped through it. Into the power cord chamber. She had one chance. The drone's voice came through a broken speaker above her. EMP charge ready. Range limited. Effect. Full shutdown of electrical life forms. She looked up. If I trigger it, I die too, right? Silence. Yes. She wiped the blood from her mouth. Then tell my kids. Their mother was never a slave. She grabbed the trigger, but before she could press it, someone tackled her from behind. Keel. He had escaped the cage using a sharp bolt, crawled through the vents. No, Mama. She held him tight. Listen to me. You have to run. You hear me? I won't leave you. You're not leaving me, she said softly. You're carrying me. She handed him a small crystal. Take this to the drones. It's the master key. With it, they'll know what to do. The hybrid landed hard in front of them, crushing steel. Lyra stood between it and Keel. She pressed the EMP trigger. White light exploded. The hybrid screamed, a human scream. Deep inside its metal. It fell. Sparking. Dead. Lyra collapsed. Too. Her body burned from the pulse, but she was alive, just barely. Hours later, the storm cleared. The drones carried her body back to the surface. She was unconscious, but breathing. The humans stood around her. Quiet. Mina held her brother's hand. What do we do now? Someone asked. A drone responded. We wait. Help is coming. And then they came. Ships in the sky. Old human ships, beat up, scarred, but ours. The resistance had heard the signal. They came back for her, for Earth, for all of them. Vrex, crawling through the wreckage, bleeding, looked up at the ship's. And for the first time, he looked afraid. They came like fire across the sky. Old human warships, black, dented, burning fuel, roared through Earth's dead air like angry gods returning home. Every human on the ground looked up and cried out with one voice. Tarn's friends. The broken workers. Lyra's children. Even the drones raised their metal arms and signaled skyward, because finally, humanity had come back. Commander Vrex stood in the middle of the burning alien farm, blood dripping from his mouth, armor cracked. Above him, he watched the human resistance fleet enter Earth's atmosphere. He laughed. You think they'll save you, he muttered, but deep inside, he was afraid. On the ground, Lyra opened her eyes. She had survived the EMP blast. Barely. Keel held her hand. Mina sat at her feet, eyes full of tears and fire. They came, Keel whispered. Lyra tried to sit up. Couldn't, but her voice worked. Good. Now we finish this. The fleet commander sent a signal down to the farm. Lyra Corrin, confirm. Status. Do you require extraction? She grabbed the comm and answered with a dry smile. Negative. I need fire support. Moments later, hell rained down. The sky lit up as resistance gunships opened fire on Goreth. Strongholds across the farm and beyond. Alien towers crumbled. War beasts screamed. Ships exploded in the clouds for the first time in 20 years. Earth was fighting back. Lyra stood, weak but steady. She strapped on armor left behind by a dead guard. "Drone unit," she ordered. "Deploy to East Line. Humans take the West. We end it today." Someone asked, "What about Rex?" Lyra's voice turned to ice. "He's mine." Inside the wrecked lab, Rex limped through smoke and fire. He activated a backup core, summoning his final weapon, a biosuit of alien steel that wrapped around his body. His red eyes glowed brighter than ever. "You want Earth back?" he growled. "Come take it." Lyra found him near the old field, the same field where she first begged for food, the same place where she once offered her body to save her kids. Now she stood there as a warrior, not begging, not kneeling, but ready to end him. "Vrex!" she shouted. He turned, armored head gleaming in the smoke. "I should have killed you the day you arrived," he said. "You tried," she answered. "But you forgot what humans do best." He laughed. "Die?" She smiled. "No, fight back." The final battle was brutal. Vrex moved like a beast, fast, heavy, powerful. Lyra dodged, ducked, countered. She wasn't stronger. She was smarter. She used the terrain, ruins, pipes, fires, cutting, slashing, hitting weak spots in his suit. He knocked her down again and again, but she kept standing. Bleeding, breathing, fighting. Finally, she ripped a plasma blade from his arm and stabbed it deep into his chest. Vrex screamed. "You were just a slave?" Lyra leaned close. "No, I was a mother." She twisted the blade. "And now? I'm your end." Vrex collapsed. Dead. Cheers rose from the fields. The resistance forces landed. Humans everywhere dropped their tools, their chains, their fear. The war wasn't over, but Earth had its spark back because of her. Later, on the bridge of a human cruiser, Lyra stood in a fresh uniform. Her children stood beside her. A soldier asked, "What now, Commander?" Lyra looked out at the Earth, still broken, still burning, but hers again. "Now," she said, "we rebuild, we remember, and we warn them," she paused, "never touch our planet again." They thought humanity was finished, weak, broken. But now they know, we don't kneel, we don't forget. And when we rise, humanity, F***, yeah, ***.